Okay, good morning. I'm back in the tiny house to finish off the bathroom insulation. I've got the bit of ceiling stuff to do as well. All the insulation is in. I just need to do the taping of the seams to stop the air, any air that might get through. I've also used spray foam in any of the bigger gaps to seal it and stick it in. And then I'm just going over it with the tape just to be double sure that there's going to be no air getting through. I chose the rigid foam just for the bathroom section because we're going to do sheep's wool. We've got some wool from Oregon Shepherd, which we picked up a long time ago, and I'm excited to get that in all the other walls. But I've got to finish this first, then do some plumbing, figure out the gas pipes and whatnot. I'm just waiting on the Precision Temp water heater, which is a through floor venting heater designed for RVs and tiny houses. So I'm waiting for that to be delivered and then we can get on with the plumbing. But in the meantime, I'm just going to finish off the insulation here, have a good tidy up of this place because it's a mess. Managed to borrow a shop vac from a friend, so we're going to have a big tidy up and get ready for the next stage. So I'm just going to finish this and we'll catch you in a bit. You can see like a little gap down the side there of the outlet. So I'm going to go around and fill those full of spray foam just to seal off that little gap there. There is some spray foam behind, and in fact there's behind some of them there is some of rigid foam too. It kind of tucks in behind. I've just carved them out so that it fits behind there. So welcome to the loft. This is the main loft of the tiny house, and I haven't spent all that much time up here until recently. I've just done the wiring, and I've put some wiring in here, but I'm still missing a few light boxes that I want to throw in. But the insulation is in the way a little bit, so I thought, well, I might as well install it. I've finally decided that I'm not running any wire cables through the joists, so I'm okay to put the insulation in now. I'm going to be running it through the walls instead, so I can just stuff it in. It's super simple. It's a bit messy though. I was going to do sheep's wool in the ceiling as well as in the walls, but after reading some nightmare stories, despite all the research I did, I still opted not to do wool in the ceiling. So not to discourage you from doing it, but if you find the relevant information that says it's okay and you feel comfortable putting it in there, go for it. But there's just a few things I wasn't too sure of, so I opted to go for the rigid foam. And because we're dealing with 2x4s here, it's 3.5 inches, so you can buy a 2-inch and a 1.5 inch piece of foam board. It's silver on one side, and the make here that I'm using is Durafoam. Got it from Home Depot, and yeah, so the first piece I put in goes silver facing upwards, and then the second piece comes in silver facing downwards. And that's just to reflect the heat and cold and whatnot. That's the theory anyway. So yeah, you just measure it out and just slot it right in. Fits in nice and snug. You push it in and you're good. You can use some kind of sealer tape around the edges once it's nice and flush with the 2x4s. And if there's any cracks or you don't cut it properly and there's a bit of a gap, you could use some spray foam just to fill that in. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing in the entirety of the loft and the whole ceiling. But I'm just trying to get this out the way. Might as well fill up the loft here and use it up whilst I'm trying to let everything else sink in with the wires and decide what to order for the 12-volt system. So let's crack on.